Hey, cornbread review off the bat, bro.
You might not like my review there, man. Yeah, so all in all, man, I ended up coming up 2.5 out of 5. Two of them things.
Yo.
5 out of 5 cornbreads for the cornbread review. What you think?
Yo, welcome back for another episode of Cornbread Movie Review. I appreciate y'all for coming back and seeing me again next week. And I told y'all I was going to bring somebody else back with me, man. Before we get into what we here to review, Trey, welcome back to the Cornbread Movie Review, man.
Thank you for having me as always, Cornbread. Ready to do it, man.
You ready?
Oh, yeah. How's everything been going with you, man?
Man, we working over here on Cornbread Movie Review. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. You have to go to the subscription, click the bell, and turn that on all, so you get all my content. I'm dropping episodes, I'm dropping movie reviews, everything. How can the people follow you, Trey?
Yeah, at Urbana Ghost at Instagram.
Okay. All right. For the highly disrespectful, highly anticipated show, we are back for episode 2 of We Need to Talk About Cosby. Now, some housekeeping rules. This show is on Showtime. It's also on Hulu too, so if you guys have Hulu. The second episode is about 57 minutes. So each episode, I'm getting the trend of about an hour. So nothing too crazy. It's 4 parts. So we're discussing number 2, and it's TVMA. Do not have your daughter or son watching this, because it gets ugly, boy. It gets ugly. Also, it's narrated by W. Kamal Bell as well. So he's not really narrating too much. He says little lines, but he's doing a lot of, let me put this package together and put it out there to the world. So your take from episode 1 and then going into episode 2, kind of what was you looking for on this?
So I know episode 1 kind of like set it all up, kind of just the foundation of building up, like we said, where he came from. So I was really looking for his big breaks. You know, like they were saying that he had a lot of failing movies in the 60s, early 60s, and you don't really think of Cosby how you know him now as he was back then.
Right.
So this episode, I was really looking forward to seeing where his big break was. Also, what he was doing during this time, like how many people knew this? How many people knew about this? Where was that lady at? How many more people were doing it? Like, where was he going? And a lot of it got answered, as well as some questions I didn't even think about. So,
absolutely. So going into this, I figured it was going to be hard to watch, but I can get through it. We in episode 2, bro. This shit is hard to watch, bro. It's hard to watch. I think the first half I'm really enjoying because I don't know much about those times, especially about Cosby and his impact, right? The first half. The second half is the shit that all right, can we fast forward through this? Because it hurts my heart to listen, right? Especially to go through it. So we'll get into all that. So I definitely want to commend Cosby. He basically was the face of African Americans growing up, man. Especially being on TVs a lot, like you said, in movies all the time, doing commercials, cartoons. He broke down the barriers that no, if y'all need a black face to look at and you feel comfortable coming to him, I'm that person, right? So that I can pave the way for the next person. So I really appreciate that. More of the educational side, what you feel about that part with him?
Yeah, just like you were saying, not only did people come to him, it also got the feeling that, Cosby was like, shoot, ain't nobody else doing it. I'm getting all of these roles. I'm doing all this. I'm putting my name on all of these. This is mine. No, skip that. I'm gonna do it this way. Just like he was bringing the stunt people in, he was breaking down barriers, like you said. Right. Within that, I think it was written by Andy Rooney, it said, or something like that. I can't remember. But in episode 2, he was doing that narration of Black history from all the way from slavery all the way until now, and just giving new names. That one explorer that was the first one to reach the North Pole. Sorry, I forgot his name. You're gonna have to put a little clip on it, Black history. No, but anyway, like he was educating, and myself being an educator too, seeing Bill Cosby in that light set him up, like they were saying as well, for being that America's dad, or being able to be feeling comfortable with him giving advice to you and your children, and having everybody really see that. And then along with the cartoons, you know, they were saying, what he say? He was like, shoot, all we had was Token, and he was just a chocolate Charlie Brown or something like that. So he was making real life characters that looked like us. So that was an important thing. But
especially being from Philly. One of the older guys that you talked about, what he says, the Stepin Fetchit from the 30s. You know, like they said, they was giving him $2 million from the 30s. How? What? Inflation. That's crazy. But that puts that, yes, a boss, and all that mind state of, okay, that's how Black people should act. So why is this one acting different? Oh, he must be a problem. And then, you know, obviously trying to kill him or just throw him to the wolves and stuff like that. So I was glad to see that, you know, like I said, Bill Cosby was breaking down those walls. But it's starting to make sense, though, now, where you see a lot of people fighting for him are older. And I think if you're 60, between that 50 to 60-year-old range, he raised you. If you think about it, because you woke up, watched his cartoons, you know what I'm saying, learn his comedy, especially those little
picture pages.
Yeah, picture pages, you know what I'm saying, put in stuff. You got records. Maybe your parents listened to his records, so you just sat by and, you know, it was maybe family time. So he helped raise you on who you are. And I think that's where people see like their hero is kind of disgracing them, or it couldn't be their hero doing this stuff. So that was one thing that I really noticed.
To your point on that one real quick, didn't Dave Chappelle was said it in his Sticks and Stones stand-up. He was like, you know, he's my hero. And, you know, you would have to watch that comedy to get into it. But pretty much like, I don't care how you guys feel about him. And this was when he was in jail, too. He was already convicted and charged, locked up. So he was like, this is my hero. Like, I feel this strongly about Bill Cosby, and maybe he XYZ, but
he one thing that I noticed, man, that dude was working like Steve Harvey and Nick Cannon, boy, everywhere. But I think that was the carrot, though, right? The trick to kind of get closer in your home, or so that you feel like he's close to you. So when you see him, you don't feel threatened. You know, to me, it was like, no, it was the same song and dance every location he went to with these females, man. So I definitely want to get into, let's talk about his education. That was huge that he went to one high school, left, went to another one, didn't graduate, went to college, didn't graduate, but he was trying to get his doctor. Well, he's a doctor, though. You know what I'm saying? So speak a little bit on his education, man, because I didn't know any of it.
For the high school, he didn't go there, and then he went, I think, to like Army or something, got his GAD or something of that nature. But then he went to school, and it was like, what's his name? What was the old Temple's coach? I forget. John Chaney. John Chaney and him were tight, bro. Like they were tight because they both went to Temple back then. And he played ball, you know. He reminded me of them dudes that is on the team, and you know, like that's on the team. You be like, oh, what up, boy? You know what I'm saying? But ain't really on the team. But just in college, and then you see him around the doors, and be like, oh, okay, because he was on the team, not. But and then he dropped out, and then he got his master's. All of a sudden, they were like, he just got his master's. And then what did he write his dissertation on?
He wrote a dissertation about Fat Albert, and then he was speaking to other teachers and other educators, and they're like, how is he speaking to us?
Yeah, so it was like, again, you're seeing this kind of theme of him kind of getting these little shakes up or a snake, you know what I'm saying? Just always shimmy shaking his way into these doors or something like that, you know? Just, I don't know how you got it, but he got it, and using that to his advantage.
And what I'm starting to know, I'm excited to see, obviously, 3 and 4, because it seems like, first off, it's the same approach. It seems like it's white women who are younger, right? 18 to 20.
That's what I was very surprised about, those ages. Right.
So it's not really, I haven't heard anything about, Black females yet so far. So it's really right after high school to college range females. Some of them, he gets them by themselves. Some of them, he has somebody introduce them to him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Bill Cosby. Everybody wants to come up to him. And then also, we learned about Spanish Fly the first episode. Now we learned about Quaaludes, bro. Like, the history of, Quaaludes is to help you sleep, right? But he like, take 3 or 4 of these and I'll see you in a little bit. And these chicks is dropping, bro. Dropping.
Man, one thing about those Quaaludes, and it was made famous by Wolf of Wall Street,
Wall Street,
DiCaprio, because what's Jordan Belfort? That's what they used to take. And if you watch anything with him, pretty much he talks about the Quaaludes, and it was found that it was only around for like 4 or 5 years, bro. That's why I know there's some crazy thing because if the government want to get rid of something, it's gonna get rid of it. Like you cannot find these anywhere.
Right.
But he was saying what it would do is like the first time the Indian doctor found it, and it was given to like 70 and 80-year-olds to help sleep, right? This doctor from India discovered it. But then like people found that if you get it and then you fight that like going to sleep or something and then like 5 minutes later you get this intense like buzzing and it goes on from there. But
people were drinking too.
Pardon?
And people were drinking too when they weren't.
That's what I'm saying. If you drink it and do it, just gives you that crazy feeling, I guess. But that's crazy how it's no longer to be found anywhere as well too. So it's like he was getting these stuff, and that was like what Hollywood was like in the casinos and stuff. He was playing those shows. Like,
right.
That was interesting a lot. Like those shows, like you said, that same pattern after the shows, a cocktail waitress or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm. So in episode 2, I guess we heard 2 different allegations of sexual assault and rape and all this other stuff. So, how did you feel about those 2 stories compared to obviously the first episode?
The first, like I said, the ages is disturbing. Like, cause he's like what 30, 40 or something.
Mm-hmm. I think around that time, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's really like disturbing. And again, like you said, I noticed. Like I think the first one was at the casino or something. If she had just got the job, I noticed. I was like, dang, all these girls are white that he's getting on, and then just the ages, but the same routine how he did, and it's just like those stories are really kind of hard to listen to, like you said, but it's just the same motive. And also, I'm wondering like how. I don't know, because there was no telephone, really, cell phones and stuff like that. Like how it just like kept happening in the same places. Because you got to believe that this is probably not the only person that it happened to at that place. It's the only one that wanted to talk to. That's where I'm at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only one that wanted to talk about it or that wanted to come out with their story. So it's probably like multiple women at that same. Like, what was the Atlantic City? No, what was Atlantic City?
That was in Vegas. Well, one of them was in Vegas.
No, Reno,
right.
It was a big little city. But yeah, so you got to believe that's not the only person at that hotel, like that probably had him come on to or did make advances,
Well, even with the lady, was playing tennis, and even she said that was one match I wish I would have lost.
Oh yeah,
got backstage passes with them and got to see, and so that's the sad part, that anybody would take these offers, right? Like if J-Lo back in the day said, "Hey, I got these backstage passes for you, and you just got to catch a touchdown." What? I'm finna go for 5 of them things. What? Come on, bro. So I think he played a part on that. Of hey, y'all see me on TV. I'm everywhere, so you're comfortable to come back, even though these are high school kids, or even like college freshmen and stuff like that.
Just graduated.
So they put their guard down because they're like, man, this is Bill Cosby. I'm famous. Remember, the lady said, maybe it was episode 1 of, hey, he can get me into these rooms and I could be an actor.
That was number 2.
Oh, that was 2. Okay, yeah. So, of course, people will take these offers. But it's unfortunate that they ran into, the monster at that time, man.
Also, she was saying that, she was like, I feel like a fool because he kept on saying that he would do this and do this. Because, she was saying that. She was like, and then at the end of the day, I look like the fool. Like, I'm supposed to be in this and that.
Yeah, it gets ugly. One thing that I really enjoyed towards the end, they talked about his stand-up special. How everybody walks around and stuff, but he sat in a chair. And knocked his comedy special out the park, because that's when this is what, the 80s at this time, 70s or 80s, because this is like
70s, late 70s,
early 80s. Stand-up was booming at this time, especially with Eddie Murphy and other comics like that. So he did his special sitting down, but they said that's kind of what birthed the Cosby Show, which I didn't know that, because he's kind of just telling his life about his kids and being funny, and then he's somebody might approach him, which we might learn more in episode 3. But they say that's kind of what sparked the Cosby Show. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I knew it was about like his happenings, but I didn't know that he was at the comedy show sitting down, and then they saw like a fireside chat or something. But yeah.
And they said what, he was an OBGYN on the Cosby Show, a doctor.
They said, boy, he could be anything else.
Anything.
I didn't know. I just knew he was a doctor, bro. Like, honestly, this whole time, I didn't know he was an OBG. I would have guessed like a pediatrician, maybe. And that lady said, you could be anything else. And you had to be an OBGYN.
Anything else, man. But
he's talking about the barbecue sauce.
But for me, man, that was a recap of episode 2 from start to finish. Hopefully, y'all, not enjoying these episodes, but hopefully we ride on. Or if we missing something, please in the comments let us know what we missed or what y'all want to dive more into. What you looking forward in episode 3, man? It's been hard, bro.
It's gonna be hard.
It's hard.
It's been hard. I think episode 3 is gonna be punching you in your face. Like maybe somebody had told something, or he might have slipped up, and we might find some new information or something. Because I feel like when people write documentaries, like they get some new information or some like you didn't really know, or something that might hit you in the face. And that's what I'm thinking about. Episode 3 and 4 just gonna have me just so.
Yeah, I think episode 3 to me, these first 2 episodes, it's more hearsay, right? Like people, we don't know if he's doing these things or not, but people are saying that he's doing these things. So, but he still ain't lost one contract, one sponsor, or nothing. He's still the hero. I think in episode 3, which we know that he tried to buy a company, right? So maybe we'll get into that, but he might start looking to be the villain, I think towards the end of episode 3. So we'll see, where we're at.
That one, because he did. That's why he got out of prison or whatever. So that case has got to come up sometime.
Right.
When he gave that sworn testimony, and this isn't spoiled, but I mean, if you know anything about this case or whatever, but I think it's in 1980, because this is 70, yeah, so 1980, 83, 85, something like that. Mm-hmm. He didn't go to trial, but they were depositions, and depositions being in the law enforcement, like it's taped and things like that, and he admitted to it. He was like, yeah.
Well, that was his plea deal, though. So that's
right, exactly. So that case is gonna come up. So I'm just trying to see what happened in that case. Like, where did he catch a hiccup at? Because right now, like you said, that boy is just slithering. So
yeah, for y'all out there, man, that was his plea deal. His plea deal was, you tell us everything what happened, don't leave out nothing, and we'll let you go, or you got to pay a fine or something like that, right? Or maybe do 100 days. So he told everything, and they were like, what? You did what? No, throw the book at him. 3,000 years, and you can't do that.
You remember in the 80s, he got caught, and then he pleaded, so he didn't go to jail. Mm-hmm. And then this time, when everybody came up, everybody got called up, whatever, the lawyer still didn't have anything on, the prosecuting lawyer. So he wasn't supposed to, that case was supposed to be sealed and gone.
Right.
Busted that open. It was like, yo, look, because he was so desperate to put him away from bars. But again, this documentary shows you why somebody might be that desperate, because he knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like so excited to see this, because this lawyer pretty much risked his career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His reputation of using old stuff to put this man Bill Cosby away. So it'll be interesting.
Episode 3, man. We'll be back again. Thank y'all for showing love to the channel. Make sure y'all follow Trey. This is another episode of Cornbread Movie Review, man. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
See you later.